Hi, this is Anthony. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I've gotten a lot of views lately, and that's because I've returned to the topic of Scientology for the most part. So you can see I've gotten between, about 1,400 and some up to almost 7,000 views, much more than when I talked about stock investing. So let's take a look at some of my most recent polls. The most recent one that I did, there's kind of a Scientology connection because it's down in Los Angeles, and I'm kind of surprised that the Church of Scientology has not sent out people to do assists in public to the victims of the California wildfires. A lot of people were blaming, at least online, Kristen Crowley, the chief of the Los Angeles Fire Department. In mine, where I ask about who my viewers think is most responsible, nobody picked her. 11% of the people picked Karen Bass. Of course, Karen Bass had some connection to Scientology in the past, where she would attend their events and seemed to be very favorable towards them. Over half the people picked Gavin Newsom, the California governor, and then 37% of the people had other culprits, and they left some comments there. Let's take a look at the comments real quickly. They say it's inevitable. They're blaming the mayors in other places, although I don't know if some of these other locations, I don't know if they have mayors. It's within the general Los Angeles area, but some of them are technically other cities. Even if they do have mayors or city councils, I'm not sure if they have any control over really anything. Sometimes little cities, the mayors have no power and no influence, really. This person's blaming Donald Trump, even though they don't say it. Liberalism. So, okay, let's look at some of the Scientology ones. This one about Mike Rinder, 336 votes, about whether he redeemed himself in the end. And I point out that when he was in Scientology, he was a bad person. And, I'm sure people would have awarded him the biggest jerk in the world after seeing him meet with John Sweeney originally. But anyway, 18% of the people said Mike could never redeem himself. And 72% of the people say that he redeemed himself with later work. And I'm happy with that, people's opinions on that. I agree. I think you have to look at a person's entire life, but their most recent work or actions should count for more than something they did when they were in a cult or when they were younger or under the influence of something. And then 11% of the people said they're not sure. Okay. And here's another one, 509 votes. This is about A-ARON and his relationship with Jenna Miscavige Hill and other people. 6% of the people say that they still support A-ARON. 56% of the people say that they've lost respect for him now that these most recent allegations have come out. 4% of the people say that they haven't made up their mind, and 34% of the people lost respect for Aaron Smith Levin after the Aftermath Foundation incident last year. So very interesting there. 20 comments, I won't read them now. And then now that we're done with Scientology here for a minute, this question about whether Joe Biden should have pardoned his son only had like 10 votes for a long time until I started doing Scientology related videos and just having more people coming to my community tab here. So it's gone from about 10 votes to 105 votes. Let's take a look at that. 35% of the people say yes, Hunter should have been pardoned. 56% say no, Hunter Biden shouldn't have been pardoned by his father. And then no opinion or other thoughts, 9%. Now, I don't think that he should have been pardoned, but the thing about it is, even if he should have been pardoned, or there's more evidence that he should have been, people in government, in the civil service, judges, should recuse themselves from doing anything that benefits close relatives. I've been on a local board in Washington County, Oregon here. It's called the Board of Property Tax Appeals. And there is a list of people in your family that our state provides that if they're on the list, you have to recuse yourself from dealing with their appeals if they happen to come to you. And I know a lot of people in the community. I have lots of interaction with business and other organizations and individuals. And if there's anybody that comes before our board that has any connection to me, or I know them, or I've spoken to them in the past, I declare it and ask my colleagues and all parties involved if they have any issue with me remaining on the board. We have 3 people that sit at a time. And if anybody has anything, or even if I think that I can make an impartial decision, but I still don't feel good about it, I recuse myself. And in the Constitution, it says that the president is the highest magistrate in the United States. That's a word for a judge, and part of their powers is the power to pardon, but because he's dealing with a close family member, I believe that there should never be an incident where he pardons his son, especially on something like this, tax evasion and the thing with the gun. Now, if Hunter would have been sentenced to death under a previous administration, say the Trump administration, and it was clear that he was just targeted because of his name, being given a death sentence for something that didn't warrant it. He didn't commit treason or anything like that. And then Joe Biden becomes president. I think people could say, yeah, this is an extremely extraordinary 1 in a billion case. He should pardon his son. Or at least he should work through the courts or through Congress to get his son's death sentence rescinded, something like that. But this is a case where his son didn't pay taxes, where his son, who was a drug user, violated the law by buying a firearm, among other things. So anyway, very controversial, but I appreciate everybody's votes. I really do read them, look through them often, and I enjoy. So check out my other videos. Hopefully you'll like them, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't. And I'd love to hear from you on what other topic. Thank you.